Mabuhay Pilipinas! Under the 1987 Philippine Constitution Section 1, the Philippines is a democratic and republican state. Sovereignty resides on the people and all government authorities emanates from them. However, is the power really from and for the people? Let us talk about the change of political dynasties here in the Philippines, and let me break this matter into three parts. First, let us talk about the problem. What are political dynasties? Political dynasties are families that holds onto power for several generations, as if modern-day monarchies disguised as democracies. These dynasties are all over the country, trying to occupy multiple positions throughout multiple generations. May it be a mayor, a governor, congressman, senatorial, and even the executives all at the same time. These family names do not only resonate on history books, but up until to every year's ballots. And how did we get here as Filipinos? The 1987 Philippine Constitution mandates the state of the prohibition of political dynasties, and yet no law exists to enforce it. And imagine, the very people who are supposed to be passing and implementing such laws are actually part of these dynasties. The government is like a family reunion where everyone sits across the aisle from their relatives. It is all but a playpen of which family name is stronger to last centuries over the others. And what about the impact on society? Because the issue is not just in politics, but it is also about the lives of ordinary Filipinos. Those who kept their family name alive, most of them are only doing it to keep the family tree going on, which is not bad if you think about it. But if you relate it to the government, it is bad, and it is so sad. Not everyone inherits the talents of their parents, right? There is a 50-50% chance that a kid has it or a kid does not have it. Applying this concept of political dynasties, not every relative has the mind and heart to serve the people or has the talent to become a leader. Yes, there are some who truly has it for the people, but let us not be naive that the greatest number of the members of a dynasty runs for the office just for the sake of keeping the family name. And after all, why would they change the system if it keeps their family in power? This has no benefit or whatsoever to the society because they become pawns of the chess game that the big family names are playing. Pawns where patronage politics runs deep, thriving in poverty-stricken areas. These family names promise scholarships, jobs, sacks of rice, or even money in exchange for votes. This also creates a thinking to the many idiotic voters the mindset of, si Juan, anak ni Maria, total kilala ko naman si Maria at naging mayor yun dito, si Juan na lang iboboto ko, creating a much humdrum society wherein everyone relies independency and not in a research-based critical thinking. Let's dig deeper to the bigger picture: political dynasties and inequality. The concentration of political and economic power in the hands of a few families has intensified poverty and hampered development, especially in rural and impoverished areas. The following are the statistical breakdown of the issue. The first one is concentration of power. According to Ronald Mendoza et al.'s research on political dynasties and poverty from the Ateneo School of Government, political dynasties occupy over 80% of district seats in the House of Representatives, with some provinces entirely under their control. He called it obese dynasties, where multiple family members simultaneously hold office, suggesting their dominance in the political landscape. The second one is impact on poverty. Also, research from the Ateneo School of Government shows that political dynasties are prevalent in provinces with higher poverty rates, particularly in resource-rich areas outside Luzon. These dynasties often failed to address poverty due to the lack of checks and balance and predatory governance practice. And the last one, or the third one, is economic inequality. That according to PCIJ report on dynastic trends and impacts in the Philippines, dynasties perpetuate inequality by controlling local governance and resource allocation. Studies suggest that the lack of competition in politics correlates with poor economic outcomes such as limited investments or other sections such as in education and in healthcare. Um, Aside from political dynasties and inequalities, there is another issue about cost of election campaigns. The cost of election campaigns has been rising significantly. In the 2022 national elections, the candidates collectively spent billions on advertising alone. For instance, financial advantage, the ability to spend vast amounts on campaign advertising and outreach is often tied to family wealth. For example, these dynasties frequently rely on personal resources or donations from business interests connected to their families. This was evident from the reports of Pilsars and PCIJ with wealthy political families such as the Villiers, who have historically leveraged their resources to secure electoral victories. Addressing these issues comes to resolution. Therefore, we should call to action. What can we do? The first one is educating the voters. The power of political dynasties lies in name recall. But, as the voters, we can break the power and cycle by looking beyond the surname and asking, what has this person done for the people? What do they stand for? Will they truly fight for us with all their might and heart? Educating voters is key. The civic education must be taught to Filipinos about their rights and the long term impact of their votes. Your votes, my votes, our votes. The second one is legislative reform. It is actually the time to finally pass an enabling anti dynasty law. However, realistically speaking, it won't happen unless elected leaders are independent from their families. And it starts with voters who knows their right to vote and their right to be served. Thank you.